Hi friends, welcome to this video on the 10th Lord in all different houses of your birth chart. What is the 10th house? First of all, the 10th house is the house of your career, profession. It is also the house which indicates your karma in this lifetime. 10th house is the house which also shows the relationship with your father, the relationship with people in high authorities. Okay, 10th house is also the house of your public image, social reputation. All right, so 10th house is a very significant house, and the Lord of the 10th house is a very significant planet. Whichever zodiac sign is in your 10th house, say if you have Gemini, then your 10th Lord will be Mercury. Alright? And the natural 10th Lord in the chart of the cosmic man is definitely, that is Saturn, because we have the sign of Capricorn there. Okay? And so Saturn rules the 10th house. Hence 10th house also signifies hard work, discipline, being methodical, alright, and so on. Now let's go to 10th Lord in the first house. 10th Lord in the first house. The first house is the house of the self. It is the house of your, it's a house of your entire life. It's your body, mind, and soul. Now, when the 10th Lord comes in the first house, it shows that for such a native, their profession is going to be very important. Their life can revolve around their profession. Alright? If 10th Lord is well placed in the first house, then they can be very disciplined in their work also. They may follow the profession of their father, or their father definitely can inspire them to adopt a certain profession. But profession will be very important for them. That will be their very identity. Now, when you have the 10th Lord in the first house, then definitely the 10th Lord has moved 4 places: 10, 11, 12, 1. So 4 places away from its own house. This shows that the Lord of, this is 10th Lord is the Lord of the Kendra house. It is again from the Lagna, it is, the first house. So that means it is also coming to a house which is another Kendra. And Lagna is also considered to be a Trikona. So it is a very good placement actually. And when it is moving 4 places away, the 10th Lord, from its own house, this can show that your profession is something which will give you peace of mind, which will give you happiness. It is your profession which definitely is going to, your profession is something which is definitely going to be your asset in life. Okay? And also you will definitely strive to be, disciplined. You want to, definitely do things in a very orderly and systematic way as well. Okay, so yeah. Now friends, what else? The first house is part of the Dharma trine, the trine of your dharma, duty, your inherent nature, personality, even knowledge and positive change. So those who have 10th Lord in the first house, they will definitely want to make use of their knowledge in their profession. and they will want to bring about a positive change in their life. Okay, they believe that it is only their profession that can change their life for the better. Yes. Now let's move on to what will happen when the 10th Lord will be in the second house. The second house is the house of your family, values. It is the house of finance, money, wealth. It is also the house of your speech. So when you have 10th Lord in the second house, you may make use of your speech or speaking ability in your profession. It is connected to your family. So you may be doing something which was already done in your family. Your profession may be connected to some some business which is connected with your family, or you may follow a line of profession which is aligned to some family member, which is aligned with that of some family member. Now you may take your family business ahead. That is also possible. Or else it can also show that you will earn wealth from your profession. Okay, you can earn wealth from your profession if it is well placed. Definitely the 10th Lord in the second house. Now also we can say that your profession may be connected to anything which is related to food. So like food industry. It could also be connected to travel and tourism, hospitality, food industry, hotels also. Now friends, 10th Lord has moved definitely 5 places from its own house when it is in the second house. Yes? Yes friends. So since it has moved 5 houses from its own house, it is considered to be very auspicious placement when the 10th Lord is in the second house. Definitely because of your profession, you can earn wealth. Okay, you can gain name, fame and prosperity because of your profession. It's possible. All right. So yeah. You can also use your creativity, your intelligence, definitely your knowledge in your profession, and that is why you could be into even business. All right. Now your profession will enable you to become prosperous, and you will use your knowledge definitely in your profession. All right. So whether you're doing business, whether you're doing job, all right. So it is the knowledge that you have which will enable you. It is your intelligence, your knowledge, your intuition power also, which will enable you to become successful in your profession when you have the 10th Lord in the second house. Now the second house is part of the trine of materialistic pursuits because it is the Earth trine. So when you have 10th Lord in this second house, such people, if they really, are very methodical, practical, goal-oriented, if they work very hard on a day-to-day basis, and if they really focus hard on their profession, then they will end up, accumulating a lot of wealth because of their profession. All right. Yes, but yes, you have to work hard. Okay, then only you will get very good results when you have the 10th Lord in the second house. Now friends, let's move on to the next placement, the 10th Lord in the third house. Third house is the house of communication. In the chart of the cosmic man, it's ruled by Mercury and also signified by even Mars. So third house is the house of your willpower, courage, determination, your efforts, your skills. So when you have the 10th Lord in this house, such natives will make use of their skills in their profession. Third house is also connected to the use of hands. So any skills which involves the use of hands. You could be a musician, you could be somebody who's a sculptor, even architect. You could be into any artistic field, you could be even singer, dancer, you could be a painter, you can be a very good writer also. Okay, because third house is the house of communication. Yes. So you could be a very good writer, you could be a journalist, you could be a reporter, you could be in the mass media. Yes. You could even be a social media influencer for that matter. Alright. So when you have the 10th Lord in the third house, you will believe in your own efforts. Okay. If it is well placed. Third house is an Upachaya house. Along with time you get better results. So if you go on focusing on your work, if you go on making efforts, day by day you will keep growing, and you will see growth in your profession and career. Alright. So it should be more or less well placed, and see how Mercury is placed in the chart. Right, Mercury and even Mars. Okay. Otherwise, do the remedies for these planets. And how 10th Lord is placed. If it is afflicted, then you could be confused. You may not know, okay, which path to follow. I mean, you could be interested in a lot of things, and you may be confused as to which direction you need to take up. So for that you need, again, somebody's guidance, the guidance of some guru or teacher who can help you out, some counselor, okay, if you can't figure out yourself, and you need to do the remedies also for the planet which is getting afflicted, or if there is any malefic influence, do the remedies of that planet as well. Now friends, when you have the 10th Lord in the third house, this shows that the 10th Lord has moved 6 places away from its own house. That is why some struggle is involved. 6 houses away, so definitely you could face obstacles, challenges, and you will have to overcome all those obstacles, so that you can move ahead and you can attain success in profession. So you will have to be willing to face all challenges with your sense of determination and willpower. Only then you will do very well, because third house is, after all, the house of parakram, your courage, your willpower and determination. Now 10th Lord in the third house. So what else we can say, because it has moved 6 places away, and also, after all, third house is originally the house of Mercury. So you can also do well if you are in the field of law, as a lawyer. You can do well. You can also do well if you are connected even to the field of medicine, because 6 places away. If you're in the field of medicine also, you can do well. Healthcare, in that field also you can do well. When 10th Lord is in the third house, you can be a very good counselor. You can be a very good teacher. You could be into counseling and teaching. Yes. All right. Now, the third house is part of the Kama Trikona, the trine of desires. All right. So that means you will really have to chase your desires. You will have to be ambitious. If you really want to succeed in your profession, you have to be ambitious in life. You have to, you will have to be desirous of achieving your goals. You have to be goal-oriented. Yes. And you have to set realistic goals for yourself, so that you can achieve those goals and you can become successful in your profession. All right. So yeah. So along with time, if you're really making efforts, your desire to rise in life, to grow in life because of your career, to see growth in your career, that desire will get fulfilled if you're really focusing on your efforts, and if you're making efforts along a positive direction so as to reach your career goals. All right, now let's move on to the 10th Lord in the 4th house. 4th house is naturally ruled by moon. Here we have the water sign of Cancer. Okay, so when the 10th Lord will be in the 4th house, definitely you can make use of your intuition or creativity in your profession. Alright, so definitely your profession could be connected to any field of study or any field which is connected with the use of intuition. So you could be a Vastu consultant. Yes, you could also be an astrologer, a healer. Why not? Because the use of intuition comes in here. So yeah, I mean, also you could be into any creative field, any creative or artistic field. Yes, then moon is also connected to food and even beverages. So you could be connected to the food industry, to hotels and hospitality. You could also be connected to the travel and tourism industry. Yes. Now 10th Lord in the 4th house can also show that you may have to travel because of your work. It's possible. Okay, you may have to travel because it is after all a water sign, Cancer, which is in the original natural zodiac. We cannot forget the chart of the cosmic man. So you may work in your homeland, but you may have to undertake frequent travels. If you do that, it will be good or better for your profession. Or you have to connect with people who are away from your homeland. Okay, you are staying at your homeland, maybe you're working from home, yes, but you are connecting with people abroad or away from you. That also can be a possibility when you have the 10th Lord in the 4th house. Now 10th Lord in the 4th house, your mother also can be somebody who's very disciplined, or even she can also inspire you to adopt a certain profession. It's possible. You could even follow your mother's guidance, even her profession. That's possible. She can play a big role in your profession. Now you can also be into interior decoration, home furnishing. You can be in the real estate business when you have the 10th Lord in the 4th house. Now friends, also we have to remember that the 10th Lord has moved 7 places away from its own house. The 7th place or the 7th house from yourself is always the house of some opposition, okay, and even challenges, therefore. So it could also show that when the 10th Lord is in the 4th house, 7 places away, so you can undertake, as I told you, foreign travel because of your business. Or it can also show that you could be into some sort of 7 places away, so you could be into some sort of independent business. It could be your family business. It's possible. All right, 7 places away, so you could be involved in transactions with people. Your business may involve agreements, transactions, bonds, etc. So you could be into any business which involves all of that. So it could even be the profession of law for that matter. Okay, you could be into any sort of business, definitely. Okay, so even if you are doing a job, then you may be into you may have to be into negotiation with clients and so on. That is also possible, because 7 places away, so 7 places away, it shows that you will be engaged in some deals. It's possible. All right, or yeah, and definitely you can work from home. Also I can say that 10th Lord in the 4th house, you will also this is part of the moksha trine, the 4th house. So because it is part of the moksha trine, so it is a trine of intuition, compassion, which will also of liberation. All right, so when you have the 10th Lord in the 4th house, then maybe your profession is very important for you, because you want to look after your family. Yes, so your profession is going to play a very big role. It is your profession which will enable you to run the house. That is also possible. You are engaged in your work, in your profession, because you really want to look out for your family members, for all those people who are closely connected to your home. Okay, so that is also possible. Your profession can enable you to accumulate assets in life over time. That is also possible. Now definitely you need to make use of your intuition in your work. Okay, so you need to make proper decisions. Yes, so when you have the 10th lord in the 4th house. So now friends, let us move to 10th lord in the 5th house. When the 10th lord is in this house, then 5th house is actually the house of entertainment, knowledge. So your profession could be connected to the entertainment industry. It is also the house of knowledge. So definitely you can make use of your knowledge in your profession. It is the house of creativity also. So your knowledge, your creativity, you will use all of that in your profession. So definitely you could also be into any sort of business. Okay, even if you are into job, you will use your knowledge and you will have a unique way in handling your job. It is possible because you will be very creative and knowledgeable. This will happen when the 10th lord is well placed in the 5th house. 5th house is the house of name and fame and prosperity. So definitely it is also the house of fortune in a way, because it is also the house of your good deeds of past life. So because of your profession, you can become fortunate in life. Yes, you can gain fame in this lifetime. That is also possible if the 10th lord is well placed. Okay, now 10th lord in the 5th house. What else we can say? Friends, you have to remember that the 10th lord has moved how many houses away from its own house? 8 houses away from its own house. Okay, so definitely you may need to undertake travel because of your profession. Okay, because when 8 places away, 8 also carries the energy of travel with it, because it is in the natural zodiac. In the 8th house we have the sign of Scorpio, which is a water sign. So if you undertake travel, if you go away from your birthplace for your profession, for your work, it's going to be good actually. When you have the 10th lord in the 5th house, it can also show that you may change your profession. There could be changes can come about. You may be doing something for a while, for a number of years, and then you may switch to something else. So there could be a change in your profession. That is also possible. Okay, because 5th house is also the house of your artistic talents and skills. Yes, because it is 3rd from the 3rd house. So according to the Bhavat Bhavam concept, 5th house will also be connected to your skills, inherent talents, artistic talents, creativity. Okay, so you could be like you may take up something as a profession and then you may switch to something else. That is also possible when you have the 10th lord in the 5th house. And it can show even ups and downs in your profession, because especially if you're connected to the entertainment industry, then definitely you can see ups and downs. Okay, now also definitely 5th house is the house of intuition and 8 places away. So definitely if you make use of your intuition, if you're engaged in some sort of research, then you will get very good results in your profession. Okay, so 10th lord in the 5th house, you can be a healer, even astrologer, you can go into the occult, you could go into religious philosophy, you could be very well versed with religious philosophy, religion, also religious texts and scriptures, and so that could also, you could from there also you could find a career. That is possible. You could even be a religious preacher. Later on, you could be a guide. It's also possible. Alright? Now, 10th Lord in the 5th house. So yeah, overall it can show that you can be famous also in this lifetime if it is well placed, and you will love your profession, because 5th house is the house of love and happiness. So you will get real joy and happiness from your profession, and you will be very much spiritually attached. You will love your profession, attached to your profession. Now, yeah, and this is 5th house is part of the Dharma trine, the trine of, the trine of knowledge, the trine even of duty, okay? So, so that means, you will also, it is also the trine of morality, so you will follow the path of morality if it is well placed, okay? You have certain moral principles and you will not compromise on them. If the 10th Lord is not afflicted, then you will have such a bent of mind that you will never compromise on your moral principles for rising in your work life. Yes? And yeah, you will believe that it is your knowledge, your talent, whatever talent you have, your creativity, that will enable you to bring about a positive change in your life. So you will believe that. So you could, if it is well placed, you will be very optimistic about your work. Yes, no matter what challenges you experience, you will continue to be optimistic and positive and hopeful that things will be looking up and you will eventually gain success in profession. And yes, it is your attitude which matters a lot, okay? It is your attitude which can make you successful in life. That is a fact. Now friends, let's move on to the 10th Lord in the 6th house. 6th house is the house of, again it is considered to be a Dusthana and mildly malefic house. But definitely, there are many positive things about this placement of 10th Lord in the 6th house, which I will tell you. The 6th Lord is connected to diseases, to disputes, conflicts, to debt, loans, etc. So your profession could be connected to any of these things. Alright, so you could be into the healthcare industry, you could be a doctor, you could even be into nursing. You could be a lawyer, yes, a lawyer, even a counselor, yes, somebody who's, like an intermediary counselor in disputes, who can handle disputes, yes. And so you could also be, do very well in the profession of law, and you could also be a banker. Yes, that is also possible. Now, 10th Lord is in the 6th house. So, it has moved actually 9 places away from its own house. So, that is again a very positive placement. 9 places. So, if you really focus on your work, you can be very fortunate because of your profession. It is your profession which can enable you to rise in life, to become successful and prosperous in life. So you will become really fortunate in life if you really focus on your profession. Because 6th house is also the house of focus. It's originally the house of Mercury, where we have the sign of Virgo. Okay, it is also connected to Saturn and Mars. So if you're disciplined, if you are organized, if you are detail oriented, if you really work hard, you will do very well. You can do very well in the field of investigation, research also. So that is why I said you could be in the profession of law, you could be in the profession of medicine, you could do you could be into any field of research and investigation. Okay? So in any field where you need to go to the depth of things and investigate, so you could also go into any field of occult sciences, that is also possible. All right. 10th lord in the 6th house, if it is well placed. Okay. Now, but if it is not well placed, then you may encounter obstacles at your work, in your work life. You may enter into conflicts with people who are associated with your profession. So if it is not well placed, okay, so try to avoid unnecessary conflicts. Okay, just focus. 6th house is the house of focus. You just need to focus on your work. Yes, and that is going to make a very big difference. And if you really focus, if you go to the depth of things, if you do your analysis well, if you have in-depth knowledge about your field of work, then you will prosper. Yes, and also if you are disciplined, regular, if you're goal-oriented, you have to be disciplined regarding your day-to-day work. And you can do very well if you're doing a job also, because 6th house is the house of routine work. So if you're into any kind of job, you can do very well. And you're really doing any sort of job, maybe a 9-to-5 job, and you are dedicating those hours to your work. Yes, and you are very disciplined, very methodical and orderly, then definitely you will get success in your profession and you will become fortunate in life because of your profession. All right. Now friends, 10th lord is in the 6th house. 6th house is part of the earth trine. Earth, the trine of materialistic pursuits. That means you have to focus on your hard work. It is your dedication to work, it is your diligence which will enable you to become successful in work, successful in your profession. There is no other alternate route. The only way to success is hard work, because it is the earth trine. You will have to earn that. You will have to, if you really want to earn wealth, you will have to work for it. You may also get into social service later on. That will be very good for you. Even your work may be connected to some sort of social service, maybe helping the unprivileged, the downtrodden, or you could be fighting against animal cruelty. That is also possible. You could be a social activist fighting for social causes, trying to protect the weak, trying to protect innocent animals and creatures and birds. So yeah, you could stand up for them and you could come forward to help the weaker sections of society, or you could even be an animal lover and you could dedicate your life to noble and social causes. That is also possible. Now friends, let's move on to the 10th lord in the 7th house. Wow. According to the Bhavat Bhavam concept, the 7th house is 10th from the 10th house. So in a way, the 7th house is also the house of your work. Yes, that is why 7th house is connected to business, to independent business especially, or even partnership business. So independent business, whether you're doing it solely on your own, you're by yourself, or whether you're doing it in partnership. Now friends, if 10th lord is in the 7th house, then you could be into any sort of business. It's possible, independent business. If the 10th lord is in the 7th house, then definitely you can conduct travel, foreign travel, because of your work. That's possible. 7th house is also the house of agreements, legal bonds, contracts, treaties, etc. So you could also be in the profession of law. Okay, you could be a lawyer. Yes, you could also be a liaison person. A liaison person is somebody who is an intermediary person, who enables two different parties or groups to come together and form some agreement or engage in some operation or project. So liaison is somebody who brings two different parties together. Okay, so definitely you could be a liaison person. That's also possible. Now definitely seventh house is we know that it's a sign of Libra in the chart of the cosmic man, and which is symbolized by the image of the balance. Yes, so it is the marketplace, definitely. So you could also individually invest in the market. You could be into shares and stocks also. You may be interested in that, and you could do that independently. That's possible. But for investing in stocks and shares, you should also take into consideration the fifth lord in your birth chart. How the fifth lord is placed, that's very important. Okay, so before you go into any sort of speculation business. Now friends, 10th lord in the 7th house. What else? Your spouse may be connected to your profession. It's possible. Yes. Or 10th lord in the 7th house, it can show that yes, the lord of the 10th house is coming to the 7th house. So yeah, you may be in a sort of relationship with somebody at your workplace. That is also possible. Okay, then 10th lord in the 7th house, we have to see how many houses it has come away from its own house. It has come, definitely it has come 10th lord from its own house, from the 10th house. Yes, so it has come 10 houses away. 10 houses away from its original placement. That means if you really work hard, you will be able to rise in your profession, in your business. You have to work hard. It is 10 houses away. Yes, so the only way to succeed in your profession, in your work, is to work hard. Hard work is the only way. Okay, so yeah, and also the 7th house is part of the Kama Trikona, the trine of materialistic pursuits. Alright, so that means definitely you will have to chase your desires, your ambition in professional life. Whatever career ambition you have to really focus on your ambition, on your desires. Only then your desire of being successful in your career, that desire will be fulfilled. Yes, when you really work towards the fulfillment of your desire, only then your desire can get manifested. Yes, when you have 10th lord in the 7th house, definitely you can have you will have a desire to grow, and you will want to see growth in your profession, because this is the trine of desires, the Kama trine. So you will want to do your business because you want to see growth in income. Yes, so for that you have to use your intelligence, because in the trine of desires or Kama Trikona, we have air signs in the natural zodiac. So it is your intelligence, your intellectual power. It is your ability to negotiate. It is your duality also. It is your diplomacy also, which will enable you to rise in your profession or business. Yes. Now let's move on to the 10th lord in the 10th lord in the 8th house. So when the 10th lord is in the 8th house, it may so happen that you may change your profession. You may be doing something for a while, for a number of years, and then finally you may consider changing your profession. That's possible. When you have 10th Lord in the 8th house, then it has moved definitely 11 houses from its original placement. So it is actually a good placement in a way. Though people might think, oh, 10th Lord is in the 8th house. It is, 8th house is a malefic house. So it all depends on how the 10th Lord is placed in the 8th house, because it has come 11 houses away from its original placement. That means if you really focus on your work, on your analytical skills, if you really work on that, if you really go to the depth of things and you really try to work hard, then you will see growth in your income because of your profession. That's what it is. So it depends on how the 10th Lord is placed there. If the 10th Lord is powerfully placed, you could go into the field of occult knowledge. You could go into the field of psychology. You could be a successful psychologist. You could also go into chartered accountancy, into any field of technology. Okay, you could also again go to any field of research, investigation. So you could go into the field of law, medicine. You could be a doctor, lawyer, a surgeon. Yes. So even you could be into insurance business. So when the 10th Lord is in the 8th house, all these possibilities are there. Okay, the 10th Lord is in the 8th house. Yeah. So 8th house is also connected to meditation, spirituality, yoga. So you could be into yoga or meditation also. You could be into spiritual practices. So you could be a healer also. Yes, any sort of investigation, research. You could be a detective, spy, secret agent. You could be in the intelligence department. So all these professions will be good for you. Whichever profession is connected to, research, investigation, hidden things. When you're dealing with things which are hidden, mysterious, secretive, then you will do very well when your work is connected to any of these things. If you have 10th Lord in the 8th house. Or else there could be, one could be even terminated from work. If it is not well placed, if you're not working hard, if you're not making use of your intention. And by the way, 8th house is part of the trine of moksha, which is connected to intuition. So if you're not making use of your intuition properly, how will you gain intuition? Through knowledge, through in-depth study, through research. You have to go study deeply. You have to do some meditation. Then your power of intuition will develop. You have to really focus. Okay, you cannot do things superficially and get away and get success. No, you have to go to the depth of things, and then only you will become successful when you have 10th Lord in the 8th house. Alright, so if not well placed and weak there, then yes, there could be problems, ups and downs in your professional life. Yes, you may encounter losses in life because of your profession. Alright, so then do the remedies for the planet. Yes, and also seek the guidance of some guru or teacher or even astrologer. Now let's move on to, so I have mentioned just now that 8th house is part of the moksha trine, so intuition. So so whatever is connected to any field of knowledge which is connected, even stocks and shares, they're connected to intuition. But you have to also see how the 5th Lord is placed in your house. Then you can even go into stocks and shares. because 8th house is the house of sudden gains, even sudden losses also. That is why you need to do your research well. Yes, you need to do your homework well, your research well, so that your intuition works properly for you. Yes? Alright. Now let's move on to the 10th Lord in the 9th house. So if the 10th Lord is in the 9th house, it has moved definitely 12 places away from its original placement. But then I will come to that later on. First of all, I'll tell you it is a good placement. Why? Because 9th house is the house of fortune. So you can become fortunate because of your profession. You can gain even name and fame because of your profession. Yes, but yes, it may, because it has come 12 places away from its own house, so you will become famous and fortunate if you really go to the depth of things, and if you really acquire higher knowledge. Then only, because 10th Lord in the 9th house of knowledge and higher education. So you will have to be ready to, maybe, because 10th Lord in the 9th house, again 12 places away from its original placement, so they are all connected to travel. You will have to be ready to make sacrifices for your profession. If you really have to travel to a foreign place or to a different city from your homeland, you have to do that. You have to undertake travel for your profession. So, you may have to undertake travel. You may have to face challenges also. So if you're ready to do that, then only you will be fortunate in your profession. Yes? So yeah, if you even go to a foreign land, from there you may even get more fortunate in your profession. Supposing you go to a foreign land and settle down there, you can be more fortunate. Or whatever profession if you're doing, if you're dealing with foreign people, or if you are undertaking foreign transactions, then that can be good for your profession. Okay? So, because 12 places away from its original placement, and it also shows that you will have to impart your knowledge. 12 places away means imparting something. Yes, so imparting your knowledge. So that is why when 10th Lord is in the 9th house, you can be a very good teacher. You can be a very good counselor, professor. Yes, you can be very good at imparting knowledge when the 10th Lord is in the 9th house. So teaching profession, you could even teach in universities, even colleges. Yes, you could be very good as a counselor. You could follow any path of religion. You could be a priest. You could be a spiritual guide also. That's possible. You could be a religious preacher also. Now, 10th Lord in the 9th house, definitely you could be, if you're a priest or if you're a religious preacher, you could be into mantra chanting. You could be into some sort of sadhana. That is also possible. When the 10th Lord is in the 9th house, the Lord of Karma is in the house of Dharma. Okay? So you will believe that it is your dharma or duty to do your work or to engage in your karma. So your profession, you will look upon your profession as your duty. It is a duty towards my family. I have to do work because I have to take care of my family, my father. I have a sense of responsibility towards my society, maybe, or I have a responsibility towards all those people who are connected with me. They could be my students, my followers. So you have a sense of duty towards the people with whom you interact and also towards society at large. That is also possible. Yes. 10th Lord in the house of Dharma, you will also stick to your moral principles. You will not compromise on your morality to rise in profession. You will not do that if the 10th Lord is well placed in the 9th house. So 9th house is part of the Dharma trine again, the trine of duty, the trine of knowledge. So you will be very dutiful, dedicated towards your profession. And you will also make use of your knowledge in your profession to bring about a positive change in your life and also in the lives of those people who are in touch with you. Now let's move on to the 10th Lord in the 10th house. Wow, this is considered to be a very good placement because the 10th Lord is in its own house. Yes, so this is a very powerful placement. The Lord of the house is in its own house. Yes, so this shows that you will definitely become successful in your professional endeavors if the 10th Lord is well placed in the 10th house. You will do your work with a sense of self-confidence, with a goal-oriented approach, definitely. Okay, so definitely you will be disciplined in your work because 10th house is naturally ruled by Saturn. So you can be very disciplined in your day-to-day work. Yes, in your profession you'll be very disciplined. So it is in its own house. So definitely you will focus a lot on your profession. Yes, and your profession is going to be very important for you. That is also true when 10th Lord is well placed in the 10th house. Now you will believe that it is only your profession which can enable you to establish yourself in this world and gain a certain public image, social reputation. Yes, 10th Lord in the 10th house. Okay, so this can also, if it is well placed, you could be connected to big corporations, organizations. You can be in the administration departments. You could be into the administration of big organizations. That is also possible. When the 10th Lord is in the 10th house, you will have a very methodical, practical, goal-oriented approach to your profession. Also because 10th house is part of the Artha trine, the trine of materialistic pursuits. So you'll be very grounded, very practical. And you will believe in making efforts on a day-to-day basis. Making efforts on a day-to-day basis. Making efforts, on your work. With precision, with clarity, with a detail-oriented approach, with discipline. So that will enable you to gain wealth in life. Because this is the trine of materialistic pursuits. You know that I can rise in my profession only if I focus on my profession. That will enable me to, I have to grow every day. And that will enable me to become successful, and that will enable me to also that will enable me to gain wealth and accumulate wealth in life. Yes. Now 10th Lord in the 10th house. So yeah, you could also, if Sun and Rahu, they are connected to your 10th house, you could also be into politics. Possible. Yes, because 10th house is the house of your public image. So if it is connected with Rahu and Sun 10th house, if you have a strong Sun, then you could also get into politics. Or you could be into administration, as I told you. Any sort of administration. You could be associated with big organizations. You could be in the corporate sector. You could be at a very high position in the corporate sector. That is also possible. So the Lord of Karma is in the house of Karma. So you will believe that I was born to this is my karma in this lifetime. What is my karma? That I have to engage in my work. So that is again the karma of your life. So you will totally focus on that when you have 10th Lord in the 10th house, and if it is well placed. You will believe that engaging in my profession, that is the main karma which I was born to engage myself in this lifetime. So I will have to fulfill this karma in this lifetime. So you will focus on your profession a lot, and which will make you very prosperous over time. You can see growth in life. You can gain wealth also. Yes, because of your profession. Now let's move on to the 10th Lord in the 11th house. When the 10th Lord is in the 11th house, it has moved 2 places away, so it is in the 2nd house from it. So this is a wonderful placement. You can gain a lot from your profession. 11th house is also the house of gains. So you will gain a lot from your profession, from your hard work. 11th house is also an upachaya bhav. So you go on making efforts in your profession. Over time you will gain a lot. You will keep gaining like anything. You can reach, the pinnacle of success. You can, your success also can be at its peak. When maybe you are at a mature stage in your life, you will see that you are very successful, and you are even ahead of your competition. That is also possible, but it may not happen overnight. It is an upachaya bhav, so you have to go on making efforts. Very important. And it is also 11th house is part of the trine of desires, kama trikona. So you have to have the desire. You have to set targets, goals for yourself. You have to be very ambitious. You have to chase your desires connected to your profession. And you will see that you will rise a lot in your profession in this lifetime. And you could be very successful. You can gain name and fame also. Yes, you will be known in your social circle because of your profession. Your social circle, you may have to deal with people in your social circle, in your professional life, or the people in your social circle. Yeah, they will somehow be connected to your profession. That is also possible because you may have to deal with them. It's possible. So you could be, if it is well placed, you could be into any sort of business, independent business, or even if you're in any sort of job, you could be at the topmost level. You could be at the top of the hierarchy in your organization, and you could be in a very high position of power. So that is also possible if it is well placed in the 10th house, 10th Lord. But if the 10th Lord is well placed in the 11th house, then also, yes. So you could reach almost, I can say, the top, and you could be very successful. And you will also be able to, gain a lot of wealth even from your profession. You will ultimately gain from your profession. So yes, that is possible. 11th house is also the house of big organizations. So that is why I said you could be associated with those organizations also. Now, you could have great social media followers also. That is also possible when you have 10th Lord in the 11th house. So yeah, and your networks, the social networks that you have, those social networks will enable you to gain from your profession. Yes, that is also, you will gain from your social networks. Okay, so, and they will enable you, people in your social circle, they can also enable you to rise in your profession. That is also possible. So you need to maintain a cordial relationship with people in your social network. Yes, But yes, 11th house is also connected to research, because this is naturally the house of Jupiter and Saturn. So it is connected to higher knowledge and even research. Here we have the sign of Aquarius. So if you do investigation, research, in-depth study, then over time you can be very successful in your profession. It's an Upachaya Bhava, but so you will see growth over time, and you can see a lot of growth over time. Okay, you need to always adopt a fair means of gaining money from profession. I mean, you should believe in in any sort of work, and which you need to do with honesty. That is important again, because 11th house is the house of Jupiter and Saturn. So whatever you do with honesty, ethicality. So then over time you will see that you will be very, very successful in your work, in your profession. Okay, now let's move on to the final placement. But yes, I think I have covered most of the things. Yeah, so because it is second, the 11th house is second from the 10th house, so it is the gain from your profession. So whatever you can gain, definitely you can gain reputation in society, you can gain money, wealth, resources, even power. So everything you can gain actually from your profession if the 10th lord is well placed in the 11th house. Yeah, you just need to believe in your desires, and you can see that, and the magic will unfold over time. So you just need to believe in your desires and even hard work. Now let's move on to the 10th lord in the 12th house. So in the 12th house, it is moved 3 places away from its own house. So you may need to undertake short travels because of your profession, and some obstacles you may have to overcome, and 3 places away, so you have to make a lot of efforts in your profession. Hard work is the only key to success in your profession. So you have to really work hard when the 10th lord is in the 12th house, because 12th house is generally regarded to be a malefic house. So if you don't work hard, you may encounter losses in your professional life. One may even lose their job, and they may have to look for another job. That is also possible. So you have to really, really focus on your work. And when the 10th lord is in the 12th house, it can show that you will do well in your profession if you move to a foreign land, to a different place, to a different city from your birthplace. So that will be good for your career and profession. Yes, if you move to a different place. So if you get the opportunity to move to a foreign land during the dasha, antardasha, pratyantar dasha of the 10th lord, then definitely consider moving to a foreign place, either different country or at least different city or different state. Different state actually. When you go to a different state, the culture becomes different. So yeah, at least a different state if within the same country. All right, that will be good for your profession. You may have to undertake travels because of your profession. So please undertake travels. That will be good for your profession. All right. You will have to network with people. That will be good for your profession. You can use your communication skills in your profession. Yes, your communication skills, you can use that to impart your knowledge, to share your knowledge. Then you will do well in your profession. Your profession can be connected to investment, any sort of investment. 12th house is the house of investment. So you could invest in stocks and shares. You could invest in mutual funds. But for stocks and shares especially, look at the 5th lord, how 5th lord is placed in your house, in your chart. That will enable you to know whether you should go into any sort of speculative business or not. Alright? So you should be connected to investment, but some sort of investment. At least do safe, sensible, intelligent investments, long-term investments, even short-term investments. So they will enable you to do well in life. You could be connected with investment. Say you could be working in any field which is connected to investment banking. Okay, you could be into investment banking. Then any profession which is connected with investment. Okay, so you could also be somebody who is a banker who handles people's loans, because loan is connected to investment. Yes, so yeah, loan is actually not investment, but loan is when it's in, money is expenditure of money should be involved, because 12th house, no? So it is not just investment, any sort of expenditure of money. So when people take loan, what they do? They are taking loan from the bank and they have to repay that every month. So every month they are spending what? They are paying their EMI every month. So that is again expenditure. So some money is getting spent, is not it? And also because you see the 10th lord in the 12th house will directly look at the 7th aspect will be on the 6th house. 6th house is also connected to loans and all. So if you are handling people's loans as a banker, it is a good placement. You can do that when you have 10th lord in the 12th house. Then you could be into investment banking, as I told you. You could be a mutual fund agent also. You ask people to invest in mutual funds. All these professions will be good for you. For that matter, you could even be chartered accountant, because 12th house is the house of research, investigation. So you could be a chartered accountant also. You could be into any field which is connected with intuition, because 12th house is part of the moksha trine, the trine of intuition. Moksha, liberation, but intuition. So you could be into astrology, you could be into tarot, you could be into any occult field of knowledge when you have 10th lord in the 12th house. You could be into meditation, yoga. 12th house is also connected to hospitals, jails, asylums. Jail is prison, asylums, sanctuaries, actually, what was the sanatoriums, sanatoriums, that was the word, not sanctuary, sanatoriums. So sanatorium is also like an asylum, ashram. So you could work in these places. So if you're working in a hospital, it's good. If your job is connected to some prison, the job of a jailer and so on. If you are connected to asylum, sanatoriums, also it's going to be good. Okay? Yeah. So houses, maybe you are working, even 12th house, no? From the 12th house, we also can see places like orphanages, even old age homes also. Those places also can be seen from the 12th house, yeah. So if you're connected with those places also, and if you're into some sort of social service, then also it will be good for your profession when you have 10th lord in the 12th house. 12th house is part of the trine of creativity also, remember, because moksha trine connected to water signs and the chart of the cosmic man. So also connected to creativity. You could be a painter, you could be a very good fictional writer, because 12th house is the house of imagination. Okay, a very good fictional writer, painter, you can have great power of imagination and creativity. Okay, so all these things we can say when the 10th lord is in the 12th house. So if you definitely get an opportunity to move away from your birthplace, you should move away. Or your work involves dealing with people in foreign places and you're conducting foreign transactions, then it can be very good. If you're working for a foreign based company, then also it can be good. Okay, yeah. So all these things we can say when the 10th lord is in the 12th house. That was my take on 10th lord in all 12 houses of your birth chart. If you like the video, do share and subscribe, friends. And if you want personal consultation, details are there in the video description. You can text me, please, text or WhatsApp. Now friends, before I wind up the session, a gentle reminder: take care of yourself, take care of your parents and elders, be kind to the unprivileged, to the needy, and be compassionate to all animals, birds and creatures. Thank you so much.